Hello everybody, welcome to AstroEdify. Today we are going to talk about that how from your own horoscope, your own chart, you can simply assess and calculate the timing of the marriage. What are those dashas, those time periods which can give you the marriage from your own horoscope, how to see that. And there are simple parameters that we will see, we will understand and we'll apply them in example charts, how to read it and how to calculate. So that we are going to discuss. So let's start this video. If you want to book a consultation for yourself or you are interested in learning astrology, you can join the courses as well. For both of them, you can connect on the website shown above. The link is given in the description, and you can also connect on the number shown below for inquiring about the consultations and the Jyotish courses. So let's start about the topic today, that is how to simply calculate the dashas, the time periods which can give marriage to a person. Now there are simple parameters first of all that we see, and we will later apply them in example charts to understand how to see that time period. Before moving on, you have to keep one thing in mind, that here we are going to look at the time periods, the dashas which are giving the marriage to a person. But before moving on to the dashas, you need to understand that what will be the marriageable age for the person. So I've already made detailed videos for all of those topics. You can check on the card section above, click on the I button, and you will see many videos on various topics related to marriage and relationships in astrology, where we have discussed that what are the yugas for early marriage, delayed marriage, severely delayed marriage, no marriage at all, or good relationships, bad relationships, divorces, multiple marriages. We have also discussed how will be your spouse, how to judge the spouse, the characteristics, the personality traits and everything. And many topics have been discussed. You can watch those videos. Here we are going to apply that part where we are going to only check the time periods. So like I said, let's suppose if somebody, like 7th house is your marriage, the 7th lord is your controller of marriage. If you are running that time period and your age is not there for marriage, let's suppose a 10-year-old kid is running 7th lord dasha, it means that it does not mean that he or she is going to marry. It means that there are going to be results in other specific domains of life. So you have to see that what will be the appropriate age first for that person to enter into a relationship, or the marriage can happen during this period or not. So that is the first point that you need to check, and for that I've already made videos, you can watch them. Now what are the parameters that we check? Let's suppose the person reached that marriageable age. Let's suppose it was 28 for a person, and after reaching 28 years, now you look at the dashas, that okay, what kind of dashas he or she is running, whether these time periods will allow somebody to come in life or some marriage proposal, and the marriage can be fixed and ultimately marriage can happen. So for that you need to see the time periods. Now what are the parameters that we check? Number one is the tithi lord. Tithi means the lunar day in which the person is born. Let's suppose you are born on a day, on a particular day you are born, Monday to Sunday, any particular day you would be born. Now at the same time, there according to the lunar cycle, like moon is waxing and waning, 15 days waxing, 15 days waning in a month, so you will be born on a particular tithi, that particular lunar day. So the lord of that lunar day, the lord of that tithi, governs the marriage of the person, the relationships of the person. Now for that you can refer to the table, but the point I am mentioning here is, look first that who is your tithi lord. Let's suppose you are born on a pratipada. Who is the tithi lord? Sun. So similarly, know the tithi lord and see where it is placed. Now that planet governs the marriage and relationships primarily. After that, you look at the 7th house and 7th lord in the birth chart as well as in Navamsha chart. D9 or Navamsha is specifically seen for marriage and relationships. So 7th house and 7th lord should be checked in both these charts. And planets, let's suppose 7th house, so planets sitting in the 7th house, they can give marriage, or 7th lord, they can give marriage. Planets sitting in conjunction with 7th lord, they can also give marriage. So that is what you have to check in both these charts. Next will be the 12th house and 12th lord, but this you have to check only in the birth chart, not in the Navamsha. So in the birth chart, 12th house and 12th lord, so who is let's suppose planets sitting in the 12th house, and who is the 12th lord. So so these are the three main criteria that you need to assess. that okay, majorly they can bring marriage relationship opportunities when they are running. So we will apply these principles in various charts, and you will be able to see now. So this is the first case which you are going to take. So here the marriage happened. This is the chart of a female, and she got married in November 2021. So at that time, if you look at the Mahadasha was of Mercury, Antardasha of Jupiter, and Pratyantardasha of Rahu. So Mercury, Jupiter, Rahu, this was the time period that she was running, and they gave the marriage. Now, first of all, we will start with Jupiter and Rahu, and we will take Mercury later. So, technically, Jupiter can give the marriage or not? Yes, because for females, Jupiter is the Karak planet for marriage, because Jupiter represents husband. And for males, it is Venus. But Venus is general Karak planet for marriage also. But in general, if you look at Jupiter can give the marriage or not, let's suppose. So first of all, Jupiter is the natural Karak planet of husband. Second, Jupiter is in conjunction with 7th Lord, Sun. And Jupiter, Sun is in Jupiter's nakshatra. In Navamsha also, Jupiter is in conjunction with Mars, which is 7th Lord. So if you look at, Jupiter is Karak planet for marriage. It is in conjunction with 7th Lord in both these charts, and 7th Lord Sun is in Jupiter's nakshatra also. So Jupiter directly can give the marriage, obviously. Now Rahu. Can Rahu give the marriage? The answer is yes, because Rahu is in 12th house. Like I said, you need to see 12th house. Why 12th house? Because it is the house of conjugal bliss. Formal means things getting formal in the marriage part. So 12th house also plays a role there, and some people don't know this, but this is important house for assessing the timing of the marriage also. So Rahu is in 12th and alone. And if you look at in Navamsha, Rahu and Ketu axis is falling on 7th house. So whenever Rahu or Ketu, you are running either of these dashas, the axis is going to activate, because Rahu Ketu is a axis. So that axis is going to give its results. So Rahu Ketu axis is falling where? On 7th axis, 7th house in Navamsha. And here Rahu is in 12th house. So Rahu can give the marriage. Now we'll take Mercury. Now if you say Mercury can give the marriage or not, because Mercury is not directly related to 7th house or 7th Lord, or in Navamsha or in the birth chart. And here if you look at the Tithi Lord, who is Tithi Lord? Venus, because she is born in Shashti, 6th lunar day. So who is the Lord? Venus. Now Venus is not running. Venus was not going on. So we are not going to take Venus, because its time period was not there. But what about Mercury? Because see, Mercury will activate the houses which it controls. If a planet is running and it activates those planets which are sitting in its houses, they will give results. So since Mercury was running, and Mercury, who is sitting in Mercury's houses? Sun and Jupiter are sitting in Mercury's house. Mercury rules Gemini and Virgo. So here 5th house and 8th house. So nobody is in 8th house. But who is in 5th house? Sun and Jupiter. And Sun is 7th Lord of marriage. And here again Mercury is who is sitting in Mercury's house? 7th Lord Mars, Sun and Jupiter. So 7th Lord of birth chart, 7th Lord of Navamsha chart, they are sitting in Mercury's sign in Gemini in both these charts. So Mercury is going to activate those planets which are sitting in its houses, because it was the Mahadasha Lord. It has to bring results of its houses. Mercury, Jupiter, Rahu. It gave the marriage, but it happened at the age of 31. So like I said, you need to check the combinations for marriage first, that when the marriage can happen, and then we can assess that okay, at this time the person can get married. Because let's suppose in her case she has been into Mercury Venus Dasha or Mercury Sun Dasha per se before, but the timing of marriage was not there. Like Sun is 7th Lord and Mercury was running, but did it give marriage? No, because Sun cannot, even if it is 7th Lord, because the age is not reached. That is why. Okay, so that is the point. So this is the first case. Next case that you can see here the marriage happened in November 2015. So in 2015 he got married. This is a chart of a male. Now if you see who is the Tithi Lord first, the Tithi Lord is Mercury, born on Dwadashi. So Mercury is the Tithi Lord. Now he was running Jupiter, Mercury, Venus. So Mercury can give the marriage, obviously, because Mercury is Tithi Lord, Mercury is running. Then Mercury is also 12th Lord in 12th house. So Mercury becomes important again. Now we see Venus. Venus first of all is the Karak planet for wife, marriage. And Venus is in conjunction with Mars, which is 7th Lord of marriage. Then Venus is 7th Lord in Navamsha chart, D9 chart. So Venus obviously can give marriage. Then Jupiter. Now if you see, Jupiter is not directly related to marriage in the birth chart. It has no relation with 7th house or 7th Lord or Tithi Lord Mercury. But in Navamsha, Jupiter is in 7th house. Jupiter is sitting in 7th house alone. So Jupiter has capability to give marriage. So Jupiter, Mercury, Venus. And remember, Jupiter is a malefic for Libra, but in Navamsha, it is making good yoga for marriage. So the thing here is that since in this case also marriage happened at the age of 30. After 30 years of age, the marriage happened. So in November 2015, he got married. So Jupiter Mahadasha, Mercury Antar Dasha, Venus Pratyantar Dasha. Okay. And like I said, you can also cross check with more things like transit at that time when the person is going to get married, or the other dashas like Rashi dashas, Gemini dashas. We are not taking that into account as of now. We are just studying through the Vimshottari dasha pattern. Now, third case, if you look at, this is again chart of a male, and he got married in year 2023, December 2023, 8th of December 2023. So if you look at the time period, Sun, Mercury and Venus. So Sun, Mercury, Venus was the time when he got married. Now if you look at who is the Tithi Lord, we will start with the Tithi Lord. So in this case, the first controller is Mercury, because he is born in Dwadashi. So Lord of Dwadashi, 12th lunar day is Mercury. And Mercury here, if you look at, Mercury is not only the Tithi Lord, but it is also in conjunction with 7th Lord Jupiter. In Navamsha, Mercury is in ascendant, and Mercury Venus is falling on 7th house. 7th house is the house of marriage. Mercury is fine. Then Venus. Now Venus is first of all Karak planet for wife. Then it is in 7th house of Navamsha chart, sitting alone. So Venus can easily give marriage. Then if you look at Sun. Now Sun here is in conjunction with Jupiter, which is 7th Lord. And it is in conjunction with Mercury, which is Tithi Lord. Okay. So Sun can give the marriage. So Sun, Mercury, Venus gave the marriage. And since in this case there are combinations for delay, marriage happened after the age of 31. So why? Because Mars and Ketu in the ascendant, Rahu in 7th house, Saturn 8th house retro, these combinations show that the marriage cannot happen before 30 at least. So even though he ran Sun Jupiter Dasha before, like Jupiter and Sun are together, and Jupiter is 7th Lord of marriage, in Navamsha Jupiter is with Mars, but still it cannot give the marriage. That is the point I am explaining, that the marriageable age is after 30. So Jupiter Antar Dasha, even if it was there, although he had a relationship during Guru Dasha, so relationship happened, which later converted into marriage. So Sun Jupiter gave the relationship, but it later culminated into marriage afterwards when Mercury started. So Mercury gave the marriage in a formal sense, and Jupiter brought that person in the life. So that is how you can check. So Jupiter was favorable, but for bringing, not for the marriage directly. Now next last case, this is the chart again of a male, and it is very easy. In this case, the marriage happened on February 1990. So 4th of February 1990, the marriage happened. So who is the controller? Sun, Mars. Mars was running. So Sun is 7th Lord in Navamsha chart. Mars is 7th Lord in birth chart, and both are sitting together. Very easy to see that yes, Sun, Mars can give the marriage. Apart from that, they are sitting with Mercury, which is Tithi Lord again. In this case, born on Chaturthi. So Lord of Chaturthi is Mercury, and Mercury is also the 12th Lord. But who is sitting with Mercury? Sun and Mars, who are 7th Lord of birth chart and Navamsha both. And Sun, Mars started on 3rd February 1990, and it gave the marriage. Okay. So in this case, like I said, all these cases what we discussed so far, you can easily see that okay, there are simple parameters that we applied. First, the Tithi Lord, planets associated with Tithi Lord, 7th house, 7th Lord, planet setting in 7th house or associated with 7th Lord, and then both in birth and Navamsha chart, and then 12th house and 12th Lord in the birth chart, not the Navamsha chart. So that is how you have to see. Like I said, you can also implement other dashas and the transits collectively to boost your accuracy and verification. But before that, you need to assess that okay, this will be the appropriate age for a person to get married, and then we can say that okay, at this time they can have some person in their life or possibility for getting married. And one more thing, when I say marriage, let's suppose if the combinations are there which are showing marriage, fine. Let's suppose in some cases, and in some countries, there is not a tradition left anymore for marriage. They are more looking forward for living relationships and situations, and they are not participating in marriage as a ritual. So that is also checked in the same pattern. That is not different. I'm talking about seventh house as a partner who is going to be in your life, the prominent person, whether you are marrying him or her in a proper marriage ritual setting, or if you are born in a different culture where you are not of that mindset and you think that it's better to be together and see how it goes. So it's still the partnership. Seventh house is partnership. You need to check the same things in your horoscope, and for that you also need to see the fifth house, because fifth house is the house of relationships, not marriage. We have not checked the fifth house in these cases because we are talking about the marriage as a ceremony. But if you look at some person who's coming in your life, then you also need to see the fifth house or fifth lord, planets associated with the fifth lord, these things, because fifth house is love affairs and romance, and it can show people who can enter in your life. So that can be seen. Okay, so these are simple things that you need to assess, and you will know that okay, this is the time frame which is going on for me and what I can expect. So that is all from my end. Hope you like this video. If you are new to my channel, subscribe below for more information, posts and reels. You can connect on my Facebook page, website, Instagram. Their links are given in description. Else we'll meet in the next video. Till then, goodbye. Thank you.